today I just want to share with you a little bit about my DPRK360 project. Hopefully it might change a bit of the perceptions that you may have about North Korea. Now, just a little introduction about myself quickly. I'm an interior and architectural photographer, and I specialize in 360-degree VRs. I've been doing this since 2007, and after about doing it for about 5 years, it gets a little bit mundane. So I was looking for somewhere to go, somewhere to do my own photography project. I really wanted to get out of that wheel. So what sparked my interest? North Korea, because so little is known about it. I did a bit of, I was trying to do a bit of research on the internet, so I googled North Korea, and this is generally what you see. Nothing of particular use, it's very politically charged. So I decided, hey, why not? Why not I just go into the country, try and make it official, ask their permission to go in to take some photos. Now, I didn't want to go in undercover pretending to be a university lecturer like someone has done and get a lot of people into trouble. So I spammed North Korea. Well, technically I didn't spam North Korea, I spammed their embassies. So I faxed them and I emailed them. There are a lot of North Korean embassies across Southeast Asia. I got all the contacts online, you can find them easily. And I spammed them. Long story short, someone actually called me, arranged a meeting. I showed them my work and they said, okay, you can do it. So the first trip in 2013, I joined a familiarization tour with a whole bunch of other managers from travel companies who had this interest to explore tourism in North Korea. Now, along this trip was me and a journalist. Now, I'll talk about the journalist a little while later. So for the first trip, it's very typical. Monuments, museums, monuments, and more monuments. Very touristy. But along the way, I noticed everyday life. Things were going on around me, just people doing their stuff, going to work, ice cream sellers. This picture you see over here is a beach on Wonsan. I asked the guide, can we stop by, just let me hang out at the beach for a little while. I took these photos. And there are many, many more. What you see here, this is after work. In the evenings, people going home from work in Pyongyang. And this is rush hour. This is what the subway looks like. They have very little cars in North Korea, so everybody takes public transport. And this is a theme park. North Koreans do have theme park. They do have fun. You may think that, oh, it's only in Pyongyang. But I actually went across the countryside. I took a lot of photos of the villages, of the people going about their daily lives, farmers, working. And this next one, which was really interesting, I could hear music. And I noticed that Koreans everywhere, both north and south, they love karaoke. So they had hooked up a karaoke machine to, I think it was a truck battery. And they were singing karaoke and dancing out in the open, in a rural North Korea. Now, for the first trip, I realized North Korea is beautiful. Now, beautiful isn't a word that's normally, you don't hashtag beautiful and you see North Korea. But truly, North Korea is beautiful. So I took a lot of photos. I'm not going to show you all of them. For the first trip, you'll be here the whole night. Now, remember the journalist I told you about? She did actually a really nice article about North Korea. And just the whole article itself would be really nice, but I noticed she had to add in one statement. And it goes like this. There, I asked gingerly for a photograph with a North Korean sentry and was tensely obliged. Now, if you read this, you would kind of expect this to come from North Korea. That, oh, it's really stressful there. But that wasn't the case. I was there. I was the one who took the first shot with the North Korean sentry. If you see the reflection in the background, everybody was waiting their turn. So we had a lot of fun. So there wasn't any tension at all. And this is the next year, 2014, because the sentries had known that I was taking 360-degree VRs, and they wanted to know how it turned out. So I whipped out my iPhone. You see that blue building in the background? That's the DMZ. So with my iPhone, I showed them my 360-degree VRs, and everybody left their post to play with my iPhone. And this is the following year. And the next year, the lieutenant remembered me. And he says, "Oh, Bokushipo," which is, "Oh, I miss you." And so you would actually expect it to be a very tense place, but no. Hang on just a minute. You can do selfies at the DMZ. You're not going to get in trouble. These are some tourists. So I realized that there is plenty of sensationalism in today's news, and I dare say, a lot of exaggeration. Now, similar photos like these have been circulating on the internet. Now let me ask everyone here, what do you see? Tell me. They're kids actually. These are kids, they're all kids. Oh, it's not too clear here. They're all kids. So when you see kids on a farm, let me ask you this. Would you consider it extracurricular activity or child labor? Now another photographer has taken a similar photograph of this, and his caption is that this is child labor. When I went to North Korea, the first thing I noticed was, how come there's so many kids on the farm? What's going on? And the North Koreans weren't trying to hide anything. In fact, they were really proud of it. And they told me that this is part of their extracurricular activity. Every year, all the schools, every classroom, they will take turns to go down on the farm. And they do it all the way, even until they are working adults. Like the female guides that would be assigned to me as my translators, they would whip out their little mobile phones and would show me, "Oh, you know, last year we did some work on the farm." And they didn't want to get a suntan, so they wore long sleeves and sunglasses and big hats. So you see, there's two sides to every story. So this curiosity, this spark that started this whole journey turned into a passion. And I kept going back. I've gone back 11 times. And every time I go back, I just paid attention to the daily life I see around me, to the people, just things that the internet doesn't show or that people don't really bother about, that doesn't make sensational news. And yes, North Korea can be very beautiful. I enjoy just watching people doing their work, and they allow me to photograph it. This is a barber shop. This is the hairdresser's granddaughter. I had my hair cut there. This journey has been quite interesting because I have a Facebook account where I throw thousands of these photos up, and I realized that a lot of people have a lot of preconceived, very negative ideas that the moment they see anything remotely related to North Korea, there is a negative response. Look at this. They look tired and do not have bright face like South Korea. Now, this is in a photo album which is dealing with medical, and this is in a hospital. This is a triage room. How many of you have actually gone to the emergency ward and see people with bright faces? I'm so happy. I'm getting treatment here. So this is just, it's a very natural response that anything North Korean automatically attracts a lot of negativity. So what did I do? I created an alliance with different travel agencies. And we constantly try to push the boundaries of what we can do in North Korea. Here are some of the stuff that we have really requested for. I've done a helicopter ride, climbed the mountains. They have fashion shows. I did not know that they have fashion shows. went to trade shows, visited their schools. I visited factories, and the one in the center here, this is particularly interesting because I wanted to walk into North Korea. I wanted to find out if I could walk into North Korea, and I could. I walked over from China, so that's the bridge. Just walk over. And I've been requesting the North Korean authorities, can I do aerial photography over Pyongyang? It took about 2 years of coaxing with all the travel companies together, and we finally got a ride on this little plane. In fact, this plane was so new that they didn't even have a serial number for it or even a name, so we just call it baby plane. Now, you may think, oh, all the photos I've taken is just Pyongyang. But all those red dots over there, these are the areas that I've covered, over 11 trips. And I hope to cover more. Now, one of the aspects of my project is 360 degrees VR. It used to be just stills, but lately I have implemented VR video, which some of you have already tried out in the previous presentation. So I'm just going to do a really short one. Can you click on this YouTube over here? And I will conduct. Okay, so now VR works on YouTube and Facebook. So you can just click the mouse and drag it around. Yeah, just drag it around. Look around, that's me. And over there, click the other way. That's my guy. Now we look to the front again.
Prosperous?
Okay.
Prosperity.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
we are going
I do more and more of these kind of videos whereby I take a 360-degree camera, just carry it with me, and we do tours. We walk around North Korea showing wherever I've been. We're going into a subway. Let's click onto the middle part here. Over here. Yeah, let's just jump. Okay, now we are in the train. You look around. So you can actually watch this on your headset if you have Google Cardboard.
This song is not my style, but it's nice.
It's for the performance. So I think that should be enough of a little bit of teaser for you. You can stop the video now. That's not my slide. Can we go back to the slide? Thank you. Now, the next question is what if? Why did I put what if? The most common comment that I've gotten from my friends, relatives, and people who generally send me messages and email is that they always tell me this. Did you know that everything that I've seen and photographed is all faked just for you to see? It's all set up. Everything is set up. From the fields to the people in the subway, everything's all staged. So I thought about it. I thought, what if? What if they are right? Since so many people is telling me this, that would mean 3 things. Number 1, that if they have staged everything just for me, I would be the most important person on the planet, even more important than Dennis Rodman. And number 2, the amount of resources they put into staging everything across such a vast area in North Korea, they would have better spent it making weapons of mass destruction. And number 3, the organizational skills required to orchestrate something on such a massive scale would rival any of that in the Western world. So let me just end off by saying this, that there's not a lot of sensationalism in today's news media. And just remember this, that if we can look upon another race, religion, gender, or country without fear or hate, the path towards global peace would be much quicker achieved. So I invite you to follow me on Facebook, follow my journey, follow me on Instagram, DPRK360, and YouTube, Aram Pan, and follow my journey through North Korea. Thank you.